time video today, and I'm just so happy. I mean, my name is Chichi. If you are here for the very first time, like you have seen already, it's a story time video, and I'm excited about this because I'll be talking about long distance relationship because I was there, I was there for 3 solid years. So I'll be sharing with you from my own point of view, from my own story, and my prayer at the end of the day is this video will be a blessing to someone out there, especially if you find yourself in a long distance relationship. You're looking for tips, advice, just beautiful ways on how to make your relationship work. So I'll be sharing from my own experience, from my own point of view. If someone had told me Chichi, that I will experience long distance relationship, oh my goodness, I would have just looked at the person eyeball to eyeball and tell the person, you are not serious, because I never liked anything long distance relationship. I believe strongly that for you to be in a relationship with someone and for that relationship to work at the end of the day, I mean, the two of you have got to be physically present. You have to see each other, get to know each other, visit each other. I mean, that was my philosophy at that point in time. And I wouldn't blame myself 100% because at that point in time, there was this aunt that I was so close to. Oh my goodness. I was so close to her that I know almost everything happening in her life. And at that point in time, she happened to be in a long distance relationship with the guy that she was dating at that point in time. I will be with her sometimes when she'll be receiving calls from the guy. I will follow her then to the cyber cafe where she'll be emailing the guy, other stuffs like that. I was seeing all these things at that point in time, and at the end of the day, I mean, before my own very eyes, it did not work out for both of them. Oh my goodness. After waiting for this guy for so many years of her life, it's never worked out. I haven't seen such thing happen to someone that was so close to me. I saw the way she cried when that relationship did not work. I saw the way she had to pick up herself after so many years of waiting. Oh my goodness. I told myself, you know what? Long distance relationship is not for me. At that point in time, I remember too well, if I see any of my friends that happen to be in anything called long distance relationship, say maybe the guy is even in the same country with her and the guy happens to be in another state and she's in another state, not even abroad kind of long distance relationship, I will totally be against that because I'm like, for you to be in a relationship with someone, for that relationship to work, I mean, the two of you have got to be physically present. You have to see each other, get to know each other, visit each other. I mean, that is what I call relationship, So I was totally against anything distance relationship, not to talk of abroad kind of long distance relationship where you are not in the same country with the guy, you are not in the same time zone with the guy. Oh my God, I mean, what kind of relationship is that? But something happened that changed everything completely for me. I mean, I just came out from a terrible relationship. A relationship that I was in the same country with the guy, the same state with the guy, the same city with the guy. I mean, and at the end of the day, it did not work, But thank God I was still very young. So I made up my mind at that point in time that, you know what, I'm not ready for another relationship. It is time to get serious with my academics because I was still in the university at that point in time. So I was just busy with my academics. And another beautiful thing is, oh my goodness, this is another aspect where I am so grateful to God. I mean, I got to embrace God at an early stage in my life, and this helped me a lot. And I was going to church, campus ministry at that point in time. So a lot of activities going on in my life, and this helped me a lot to stay focused and not to be thinking of any relationship. I was just enjoying my single life at that point in time. I mean, engaging myself more and more in campus ministry. I mean, serving God as a youth. That is an experience that I will not trade for anything in my life. It was a beautiful place to be. It was a beautiful ministry on campus, and I enjoyed every bit of it, And this helped a lot because it helped me not to be under any kind of pressure to want to go into another relationship, So I was just loving myself. I was just loving the lady I was daily becoming, I mean, it was a beautiful place to be. It was a lovely experience. So I remember too where this fine weekend. So that fine weekend, it was Friday's evening. Thank God it's Friday. So I went home to see my family. I just said to myself that, you know what, I will return back to school on Sunday's evening. I mean, my school is in Lagos, my parents are based in Lagos, so there was no haste at all. You know, it's a matter of 30 minutes, at most 1 hour if there is traffic, and I'm back to school. So I decided to attend church in my city in Lagos. So when I attended church there, I met all my friends, all the people that I used to know there, and there's this particular guy that I've known him for quite some time, you know, but I mean there was nothing. He's just a regular brother in the church. So he called me and he was like, he liked me so much, and he's been thinking, you know, he's been thinking so much, and he wants to take the relationship to another level, you know. And I'm like, in my head, what is he talking about, you know, because still deep down inside of me I was not ready for another kind of relationship, even though I cannot deny the fact that I like him, you know. I was just fighting hard, seriously, because I never wanted to go into another relationship at that point in time. So anyway, I returned back to school, and before I knew what was happening, my phone started getting busy and busy and busy. I mean, this particular guy, you know, he's always calling me. But when his calls became so regular, I kind of like, excuse me, where is this guy driving to, you know? I was just fighting hard because I never wanted to go into another relationship at that point in time. So, you know, his calls became so frequent, you know. I mean, everything was just on phone. So we always talk on phone, and for me it was just a harmless phone call, you know, until when it became so frequent. And I'm just like, excuse me, I mean, the guy can just end up calling me many times in a day. He will call me just to check on me, ask me, have you been to lecture, have you been to school, you know, that kind of caring calls, you know. So I started suspecting this guy. Even one fine day he came to my school. Oh my goodness, oh my God, I'm just like, I don't get it. He was just showing concern, showing all seriousness in him, you know. Anyway, he finally traveled and he never stopped calling me. He kept on calling me. We are always engaged on phone, engaged through emails. We're just always talking. We're always talking, you know. I mean, he's not in the same country with me. He's abroad, different time zone, but we were always talking. I mean, we can talk for hours. You know how international call is, you know. And in the course of time, we started building strong relationships, strong bonds, even on the phone. Oh my goodness. But I tell you, the experience was so real, you know. Maybe because he's someone that I believe I can trust. And again, at the same time, I just felt like I have nothing to lose, because after all, I made up my mind that I don't want to be in a relationship at that point in time. So I was just loving God the more, engaging in campus ministry, engaging in, you know, so many activities, beautiful activities that came my way at that point in time. To the point that I was so loving this guy, such that if my own friends comes to tell me, using the same words which I was using on them at that point in time, telling me that, you know, this guy is abroad, do you think you can trust him? Do you believe in this relationship? Oh my goodness. I was just speaking against my own words, because how I was feeling about this guy at that point in time was so strong. It was so real that it was like we were together in the same country, in the same state, in the same city. So I was just loving every bit of it, you know. And I started telling my parents about him. I started telling everyone that cares to hear about him. I mean, it was a beautiful experience, you know. Before I knew what was happening, 1 year passed. I mean, the second year came. We were still working stronger and stronger, and I was just enjoying every bit of it. I mean, the third year came by. We're still working so strong, and at this point in time, we are of course discussing useful things, making beautiful plans, talking about so many beautiful things of life. We started planning our wedding even through the phone. Can you imagine this? And as God will have it done, I mean, everything went so beautifully and so smoothly. And that thing that helped me at that point in time, because of the respect and the love I have for him. I mean, I love his sister so much. His sister is someone that Oh my goodness, I'm glad that she's my sister-in-law today, because I love her so much. I was always paying her a visit in her home. Sometimes she would just make me to spend the weekend with her. She would give me beautiful things to go back to school. She was just loving me, giving me beautiful advice, assuring me every now and then that her brother is special, her brother is a sincere guy, and her brother meant every word that he has said to me. This helped me a lot. And before we knew what was happening, it was wedding bell was ringing, and finally he came back, and here we are today, many years after, with beautiful children to show. This completely changed my orientation, my mindset towards long distance relationship. And the reason why I am making this video, like I said initially, is I pray that this helps someone who find himself or herself in a long distance relationship. I just want to tell you that just because maybe it did not work for another person does not mean it will not work for you. We all are different. The most important thing is to know what you want and engage in beautiful conversation with your partner. Talk about useful things. From the way you people talk, you will get to know the heart of that person, because physically you are not seeing that person. So you need to constantly communicate with this person in order for you to keep the spark alive in that relationship, and to know the mind of this person, to know if the person's mind is still with you, so that you don't need to waste your time wasting many years waiting, and at the end of the day it will not work. But if you are in communication with this person, discussing beautiful things, talking about the future, the plans you both have for each other, it helps a long way to strengthen the relationship. It helps a long way to keep both of you faithful to each other, and it goes a long way to strengthen the relationship. So friends, I hope someone finds this video useful and helpful, and I pray that if you find yourself in a long distance relationship and the person is everything you ever want in a partner, I pray everything works out for you smoothly, just like it worked for me. So friends, thank you so much for taking your time to watch this amazing video. I will sure see you all in the comment section, as well as see you all in my next video. Keep flourishing, stay out of trouble, keep loving yourself, keep being the best, and God bless you all.